Hello viewers, welcome to my Doctor Who themed YouTube channel, Who Ventures, and this is an ASMR video all about the book that started it all, the Jon Pertwee recipe book. This year is our 4th anniversary of starting our cult of looking for the canonicity of this recipe book. This is how the normal world sees the book. Now, connoisseurs, proper connoisseurs of the recipe book would have multiple copies, and I do have more than 2 copies, but ironically, my house has eaten them. I don't know where my other copies are, but we have a very exciting copy and my first copy to show you. So this is what it looks like on the front. An unassuming ordinary recipe book, you might say. But then you turn it over and the secrets are revealed. So I shall read what it says. Men may go shooting off to outer space, but it's really their inner space that matters most. I'm sure I'm not the only one who likes to be adventurous at meal times. When the meal I'm eating is home cooked, but doesn't cost the earth, then I know I'm getting the best of all worlds, says Jon Pertwee, BBC TV's Doctor Who. Now you will notice on the cover of this book the encroaching dessert, which I think is the Gugelhof. It is encroaching off its plate towards Pertwee. You will notice the large supply of beige meat and the minuscule portion of peas. You will also notice the big brown hand feeding Mr. Pertwee a Garibaldi biscuit. Whether this hand is attached to Pertwee is has been under debate for 4 years. So you can get this book off Amazon. There seems to be an unusual ready supply of them, as if there's a massive warehouse just holding recipe books. Interesting point to note is that the Co-op have been contacted about the recipe book, but mysteriously they denied all knowledge. Investigations are ongoing. So this was my first recipe book through the post. I was quite disappointed to find a label on it which covered up the minuscule portion of peas. And also this recipe book does not contain any of the very important coupons. So this copy is an incomplete book, whereas this copy is the holy grail of recipe book collecting. It has all the coupons intact. I will get to that when I show you through the book. So now this is the cover, and you'll see the stars of the book are a lady and her family sitting inside a massive cake. That's the cover. 100 baking recipes, your own family's favourites, main meals that save time and money, puddings, pies and cakes galore, and lots more from the Co-op. So let's dive in. Published for the Co-operative Wholesale Society Limited, blah blah blah. Buy a copy yourself and you could read that. We have clones of the mother of the house, Stepford wives. The title page, baking your cake and eating it, she has adorned herself with a chef's hat. Sections are serve a savoury special, make the money go round. Give them a sweet surprise. Try a treat for tea time. The book you helped us to write. So what happened? Oh my gosh. We at the Co-op feel proud of this little book for several reasons. As far as we're concerned, it's something very new and exciting, and we hope that you, our shoppers, are going to feel the same way about it too. To begin with, it's the first time we've produced a proper cookery paperback. Of course, you will remember the 3 booklets on making the most of meat, which we published a little while ago. These were a great hit with all of you, so we thought it was about time we had a go at something more ambitious. There was no problem at all about deciding what to do next, because we had run a home baking competition in a national newspaper, and the entries came flooding in, giving your favourite recipes from all over the country. The standard of these entries was so high that we've had no hesitation at all in keeping to our plan to publish a selection of the winners in this book. But being the Co-op, and therefore always concerned about adding that extra bit more value for our shoppers, we also decided to make this a book that would be a real help to you in stretching the family food budget. So we asked our own Co-op kitchens to give us their favourite recipes too. Good basic ones that would satisfy hungry families without costing too much money or effort. All the recipes in this book are prepared in the oven, and that makes them even more economical. As you know, you can use the oven to prepare a whole family meal at once. It cuts down quite a bit on your gas or electricity bills when you cook this way, and oven-baked meals can really be a treat. Say, tasty bacon and egg pie to start with, a rich casserole full of good, slow-cooked meat and vegetables, and a tempting fruit pudding to round it off. Delicious! If you have another look at the list of contents on pages 4 to 7, you'll see that we've divided the book into 4 sections. Each section contains more than 20 recipes, all listed alphabetically. The first section covers mostly main course dishes. Several of these are quite unusual. Roasted fruity lamb, for instance, is an attractive variation of the weekend joint, as well as being a good way to make it go further. Gypsy pie is an example of an old-fashioned dish. Tatiogi is a version of that West Country dish, well known to everyone, Cornish pasty. But until you've made one yourself, especially this one, you haven't tasted the real thing. Our favourite in this section is cheese meringue pie. The writer tells us it's a French convent feast day treat, and it certainly is a feast. The second section is full of really clever ideas for using inexpensive ingredients in ways that will surprise your family, and you too. Several of the recipes don't use meat at all, and yet are really satisfying. Macaroni slices, for example, or cheesy leek flan. Then there's a super mushroom and celery pie from our only male winner in the competition. Others, like the delightfully descriptive pensioner's casserole, use handy standby food ingredients, in this case bacon and rice. Many of these recipes are very quick to prepare too. What about cheese whispers or sage and onion pudding, if you want a good idea to stretch a main meal further? The third section contains puddings that are a real inspiration. Just to read the list of titles makes you want to start baking. Peach and plenty pudding, for instance, or apple almond pie. Then there's a traditional harvest pudding, made at threshing time in the Midlands, and baked Alaska, a sensational combination of hot pudding filled with ice cream, which impresses everyone and yet is so easy to do. The final section contains a wonderful selection of cakes and biscuits, from the simplest cookies to the most unusual continental specialities. One of them, wacky cake, comes all the way from Malaya, and was so christened by the sender because she says it breaks all the baking rules. The original recipe for sienna cake was coaxed out of a waiter on an Italian holiday, while Gugelhof is a version of a cake much enjoyed throughout Germany and Austria. And two of the best are traditional English, the rich fruit cake, without which no Christmas or birthday party would be quite right, and the superb Christmas bun loaves recipe, which has been handed down in the Writers family for over 80 years. There were others too, not included, because their recipes were not for baked dishes. So perhaps we can carry on this idea and feature them in another book soon, but that depends on you. If you enjoyed this book and would like to see more like it, do let us know. After all, it is your co-op, isn't it? Sarah Charles, New Century House, Manchester, May 1973. So this page we have the mother of the house seemingly meditating in the hope that she hasn't poisoned her family. And then this next page, she has again donned a hat and is serving soup. On the page itself it reads, all the main dish recipes in this section are for good hearty family meals. Lots of them are your own tried and trusted favourites. In many cases for traditional and regional specialities. I like saying specialities. It's fun. So we have, okay, the lady of the house has fallen asleep now over the soup, but she is serving bacon and egg pie. Then we have chicken cooked in cider, cheese meringue pie, and an occurrence of the man of the house wearing a bow tie. Then we have beef and batter pudding. There's the, I don't know if that's the man of the house or the boy of the house, but he's about to tuck into a delicious tripe casserole. Then we have a picture of the girl of the house with another bow tie in her hair, gypsy pie. This next page is still serving the soup, beef burger nests. Next page, salmon pie. Next page, she's still asleep. I think she's a robot with her batteries run down. Liver country style. Then we have a priest, plate steak and kidney pie. Then we have one of the more interesting recipes, tatty oggy, with two children eating orange and pineapple slices. Oh wait, are those meant to be pasties? Those are meant to be pastas. Then we have the man of the house in his glasses and bow tie, his brain specs and bow tie, eating braised hearts. Then we have cod in cider and the robot lady still not woken up. The next page we have shepherd's pie with marrow. Next page we have stuffed breast of lamb. And the next page we have the house cat trying to eat the food, which is southern fish bake. Next page, robot lady still not woken up. Toad in the hole. We have, oh no. We have a dead rabbit cartoon, lovely. For Creole rabbit pie. Robot lady again, cheese baked potatoes. Then we have the girl of the house helping with the cooking, and she's making shrimp flan. Robot lady still asleep. We have Russian fish pie. The man of the house is carving roasted fruity lamb. She's awake and she's gone to the shops and she has a piggy bank. And she's gotten everything on a budget because she's getting the best of all worlds. This next section is called Make the Money Go Round. It's amazing what you can do to stretch your family food budget when you use a bit of ingenuity, and you'll find that the recipes in this section are mostly easy on time and effort too. And there's a pig, a money bank pig. Then we have a dish full of what looks like fish, but it actually looks like olives wrapped in pastry or something of the male genitalia. It's called Bacon Extravaganza. This next page, the children are very excited because their mother has made Banana Doolittle. Penny pinching recipe is indicated by the pig money box, cheesy leek flan. Then we have a Roberto golden bake. Then we have the priest again, and he's come round for some cheese whispers. Then we have the kids. One of their friends has come round for a cowboy lunch. Another penny pincher, giblet pie. And then we have the kids rather excited for baked dumpling surprise. Penny pincher, kipper flan. Then the kids are rather overly surprised by horseshoe surprise. Man of the house, brain specs and bow tie, up for a lattice loaf. Lady of the house, but she seems to be a lady of a different house. She is making mock roast. Penny pincher, macaroni slices. And then we have some ingredients for a Monday bake. Another penny pincher, savoury mince bake. And then we have the man of the house making shadow puppets with napkins, onions stuffed with liver and bacon. Penny pincher, pensioner's casserole. Then we have some fish and ingredients and what looks like a magnifying glass. Quick salmon pie. Little girl with bow tie is eating sweet spiced herrings. We have a pie, mushroom and celery pie. Then we have a Scottish man juggling Scotch eggs. Penny pincher, stuffed tomatoes. And then we have the children, and looks like the little girl is about to whack the mother over the behind with a wooden spoon. But anyway, she's serving sage and onion pudding. And then the Holy Grail, where we say, ah. The coupons are intact. Bake and save coupons. Save money with these coupons at your co-op now. The co-op is the place for baking bargains. Week in and week out, you'll find all the products you need for all your home baking at really keen prices. Here to cut your cost of baking even further are 12 coupons for basic baking ingredients and partially prepared products worth in total over 20p. The co-op cuts the cost of baking. This book is a national publication. The coupons included in it are only valid if the issuing co-op society is a stockist of the products shown. We have 2p off McDougall's pastry mix. You have until 31st of March 1974 to claim. Next, 2p off Chesswood mushrooms, button grilling creamed, 7.5 ounce sized. Valid until 31st of March 1974. 2p off Royal Lemon Pie filling. Valid until 31st of March 1974. 2p off Bird's custard powder, family size only. Valid until 31st of March 1974. Penny pinchers. Although, don't put your money in your baking bowl, fool. Then on this page we have 3p off Green's Flavor Moist cake mixes. Valid until 31st of March 1974. Then we have 2p off Scotch chalk. I don't know what it is, but it's valid until 31st of March 1974. Scotch chalk. And then we have 2.5p off cooking, half-pound cooking fat, valid until 31st of March 1974. 1.5p off, very generous, Just Roll, short pastry or puff pastry or vol au vents, valid until 31st of March 1974. Then we have 2.5p off Stork margarine, half-pound size, valid until 31st of March 1974. Then we have 2p off Co-op sterilized cream, valid until 31st of March 1974. Have I turned over 2 pages there? I have indeed. Next we have a whole 3p off St. Ivel Real Devon Cream, any size, valid until 31st of March 1974. Then we have 2p off Creamed Rice Milk Pudding, 15.5 ounce size, valid until 31st of March 1974. The end of coupons section. The co-op cuts the cost of baking. Penny pincher pig. This next page. The boy wants to play cricket. The girl is ripping the ears off her teddy bear. The lady of the house is thinking of what desserts to make, and the man of the house is just holding a newspaper. Give them a sweet surprise. All these puddings are really mouth-watering, and as most of them use fresh fruit, they can be varied to suit both taste and season. They include basic standbys and special occasion spectaculars. So we have apple almond pie, apple charlotte, plum wheels, and she seems to be very proud of she's holding up those plum wheels right there. Man of the house, short pastry, baked Alaska. Then we have a nice big chunk of lard down here for honey tart. Then we have baked egg custard. Bananas for banana and raisin pie. Caramel rice. The priest is over for some chestnut souffle. Then we have mother and daughter cooking for date meringue tart. Then we have Eve's pudding. Lovely big pie, apple blossom layer pie. Green tomato pie. Then we have some apricots and bananas for banana pudding. Hot fruit trifle. We do not have trifle hot. There's the man with the spit eye. Then we have some ginger and apples for apple delight. We have lemon meringue pie. And she's having a good lady of the house having a good time cooking macarons au pêche. Then the man of the house has turned up, but is not helping her cook. She's making peach and plenty pudding. Then we have pineapple crumble. Then, appropriately, we have pompadouring. Harvest pudding. Rhubarb and gingerbread ring. Mince meat surprise. And there's a fellow in a jumper which must have been knitted from the Doctor Who knitting patterns book, eating cake. Have treacle tart. Then we have the girls round for tea and cake. Cup of tea, some nibbles. Try a treat for tea time. When you look at this section, you'll see why the English cake can really be considered a work of art. There are more exotic recipes too, brought back from holiday or the writer's home country. 14-carat cake, which looks quite tasty. Black beer cake. Bourbon biscuits always go down well. There's the boy nicking all the bourbon biscuits. Brandy snacks. I like brandy snacks. We have cereal fruit loaf. Chocolate eclairs. Date with a banana cake and a very shy couple there, sitting back to back, eating banana cake. Reminds me a bit of Jon Pertwee's lovely documentary about valves. He reminds me of Loverboy. Then we have Santa, who is eating Christmas or birthday cake. Christmas bun loaves. Then here's the kids again, nicking all the flapjack biscuits. Then we have Eccles cakes. Rather appropriate there. Honey and oat cake. And then we have I was just speaking by gentleman at Manuel from Fawlty Towers. And he's serving French hazelnut slice. And the vicar's round again for gâteau à la Trouville. And then we have Googlehuth, which is surprisingly, I think there's a force field around the family so it can't encroach upon them. We have apple lemon surprises. The best recipe of all, wacky cake. Then we have Mount Pleasant cake. We have an attractive picture of some nut eclairs. Then we have orange cake. That woman looks quite evil, but she is still enjoying the oat cookies. Pumpkin scones. Rich chocolate cake, very nice. Sienna cake, and here's a Colin Baker with a moustache serving the top. Then we have Swedish oat wafers. Sweet and sour cookies. Although it looks like she's just walked right past him with the cookies. Viennese biscuits. Walnut fudge cake. This recipe is called cake. And he's serving a lovely cake and she's quite pleased. So, that is the last recipe in the book. Then you have a list of all contributors, metric measures, oven temperatures, and the Stepford Wives again. And another quote, shopping's quite simple. You buy what you want, and the shop takes the profit. It's the same at the co-op, except that shoppers like you own the co-op. You get what you want, and you share the profits too. That's why we call it your co-op. So that was the recipe book. You are now a follower of the recipe book. I shall not say the rude name, I shall say the polite name, Recipe Booker. You can imagine the rude name. So that is your introduction to Jon Pertwee Recipe Book. Fantastic.